Supplemental healthcare employees will use the electronic time card, or ETC, to enter and submit time. To access the portal from your mobile device, go to Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. It will not work in Internet Explorer. Type in etc.shccares.com. Enter your email address and the same password you used to log into your MySHC account or online application. If you haven't logged in before, a pop-up menu will invite you to watch this video. If you ever want to come back and watch it again, you can access it from the try-bar menu on a mobile device. Once logged in, click on Settings, Add to Home Screen. You can now use this shortcut to log in instead of typing in the URL or login credentials each time. In this example, we're working at more than one location, so we'll need to select the facility before we enter time. If we only have one assignment where we're working, the ETC will automatically take us to the calendar view. To switch between facilities, from the bottom of the screen, select the facility and choose another location, or go to the try-bar menu at the top, select facility, and pick another location. On the calendar view, the yellow column indicates the current day. Use the back and forward arrows to change the view by 1 week. Now let's enter time. We'll click on a day, indicate the work mode, which is usually regular, but you may need to make another selection based on your assignment details. The new time entry shows as blue on the calendar view, meaning it is an unapproved shift. Repeat this process throughout the week to enter all time worked. For example, when working in a home health or hospice setting, when the client asks that productivity is included in time reporting, instead of seeing regular, you will see regular with productivity tracking. Enter these details using the productivity units as outlined by the client and provide additional details when necessary. A word of caution here. If we click on the same spot where we just entered a shift or mileage, the spot that's in blue, it will let us change it from a shift to mileage or from mileage to a shift. But we will lose all previously entered information. We're essentially overwriting or erasing what we entered before. If that's not what we intended, if we want to keep the one we already entered and add another one, then click somewhere else on the calendar view that doesn't already have an entry. Adjust the date and time if necessary, and finish adding that additional entry. If the client requires that mileage be tracked and documented, perhaps between schools in a school district or between patient homes during a home health visit, you will need to enter a description from and to location. Provide enough information for the school district or home health agency to identify and approve the mileage, maybe from one city or town to the next, or from one street to another street in the same town. Be sure to follow all HIPAA laws and never include street numbers or apartment numbers that would specifically identify the patient. Once mileage gets added, it will float around noon in the calendar view so it's easy to see. As we work and enter shifts throughout the week, daily subtotals update along the top and a weekly hours subtotal updates in the bottom right. Continue to enter and edit time until the calendar shows all entries at the facility for the week. From the try-bar menu drop-down, click Approvals. Check all shift details and, if applicable, mileage details. We see daily subtotals and a weekly total. Once time is submitted to the client, it can no longer be edited unless the client declines it. Does everything we need to submit to the client show on the screen for this facility? The daily and weekly totals help me realize that I forgot a decimal place on that mileage entry. I'm going to go out of Approvals, back to Time Entries, tap on Mileage, update the actual mileage field, save that, come back into the Approvals, and review the rest of the entries. Unless the client specifically asks you to do something else, only submit time to the client once each week. Submitting it more often, like on a daily basis, creates more work for you to go in, sign, and submit to the client, and for the client to go in, review, and approve. We process payroll in batches. If an approval comes in and gets processed, and then later a different approval comes in and gets processed, that could lead to multiple payroll deductions and change your expected take-home pay. So we want to send that to the client and get approvals one time each week. Once everything looks correct, accept the user terms and sign the electronic time card. Now we have two choices. We can email the entries to the client for approval or have them sign on our mobile device. Many clients prefer an email, so let's walk through that example first. If more than one person can sign, select the option that has both email addresses, or enter both email addresses using a semicolon to separate the two emails, and email the ETC over to them for approval. When you go back to the calendar view, the blue unapproved shifts are now yellow because they are pending client approval. When the client contacts, open the email and click on the hyperlink, they will see all shifts associated with that email token. The client also receives a confirmation email and a PDF of the approvals. If the client contact declines an entry, we get an email with their decline reason. We'll go back into our time entry, make any updates we need to, and resubmit it to the client. The client gets a new email with a new hyperlink. They'll go back in and review the previously declined and now edited time entry. If the authorized client contact will review entries from your mobile device, review and approve all of your time, then hand the phone over to the client contact. They will add their name, email, accept the terms, sign, and then you will need to click Submit. Only after time is submitted and it turns to green on your calendar view is the time approved and properly submitted to the payroll team. Tap on each one to see the details, or we can go into approval history. If they were all approved together, they will be under one link. If something was approved later on, it will be its own link separate from the rest. Use the menu option or email askpayroll@shccares.com to send any questions you have to the payroll team. When you're done, log out. Thanks for sticking with us on this overview of the ETC. Have a great day.